Welcome back from Nerdtastic Halloween, and happy Halloween, everybody. That's right, we've made it to the end of 2024's Nerdtastic Halloween. We are on ghost number 6, and I have had a blast recreating these ghosts from Beetlejuice Beetlejuice. It was so much fun getting to try things I never tried before, and just having fun taking these ridiculous and funny and just so strikingly great makeups and trying to do what I can with the barest minimum that I have and just having fun recreating them. But for the final time, even though if you've made it this far, you've definitely heard this warning before, but spoiler warning. I have done 6 ghosts from the Beetlejuice Beetlejuice movie, and these ghosts definitely contain spoilers for the movie. I never want to spoil anything for anyone, so that is why I warn everyone before getting into the videos. But now that that's done, let's talk about the final makeup for 2024's Nerdtastic Halloween. For this one, I definitely wanted to pick one of the ghosts that had a more easy makeup, in case you just wanted something really quick to do. So I picked a makeup that was definitely really easy and then decided I needed to add extra to it. Totally optional. I will end up showing both sides of that coin. But I can't ever do something just simple. So of course I had to add a little extra something to the makeup, but no worries on that. But let's talk about what ghost that is, and that happens to be our dearly departed Delia. I love Delia in general. She is one of my favorite characters, both in the first movie and in the second. She has some of my favorite lines, and she is just so good. Everything about Delia is just hilariously great, and her death, though I kind of saw it coming, still threw me. I was still like, oh my god, when it happened, and the way they did it, the lead up to it, everything about it was just so perfect, and getting to see her in the waiting room with the other ghosts in the Beetlejuice universe was just something that was just spot on, and everything just fell into place perfectly, and it was so cool to see. But that's why I really wanted to try and do hers, because it is a more simple makeup in comparison to a lot of them. But also kind of fun because of how she died. But yeah, so for the last time this year, I'm going to hand it over to my voiceover, and we will get into the video. See you there.
Okay, let's get into the final look. So with Delia's look, it's so simplistic because you just start off with normal makeup. So I just go in with my normal foundation, just get everything based out like you would normally do when you're doing a full face. I have to say, I really loved how they did Delia's death. I thought it was great that it was due to her own ignorance kind of situation, her own hubris, and I just kind of love that. It just fits so well with Delia, so that's why I really was like, you know what, she's the perfect one to end this Nerdtastic Halloween week of makeups with. Her whole makeup is these really bright blue eyes. I believe the whole thing is she's supposed to be channeling Egyptian-esque makeup and garb and everything, because she's doing an Egyptian-esque ceremony over Charles's grave. So this bright blue eye is very big and extravagant. But yeah, so you're just gonna pack on as much bright blue eyeshadow as possible. And I kind of made mine very exaggerated a little bit more just because of how my eyes sit when they're open. And then I go in with some black to make the eyeliner. So it's pretty much like just a straight line coming at a diagonal. There's no real wing. It's just really much the line, and very exaggerated again. Her whole eye makeup is very, very exaggerated, very much in your face, which I really love. I also wonder if it was kind of like, I felt like her blue eyeshadow was kind of like a sign of what was going to happen, that she was going to end up dead because of the blue. It's kind of like a trigger color for the ghost situation. So I'm probably overthinking it, but that's what I saw. I was like, is this some kind of like Final Destination like premonition? But again, I could just be reading into it. I always do. Anyway, I do my eyebrows black because Delia has very dark eyebrows. So I just go in real quick and darken those up. And with the same black, I go in and smudge a bunch of black underneath and on my waterline. Because her makeup is a little bit like blown out at the bottom. So I try to mimic that as well. Then I do a pink lip, because from what I could see, it looked like she just had a pink lipstick on. I think mine might be a little too bright, but I was working with what I got. And then with the blush, I did the same kind of method as I did with Mrs. Frazier's, where I pack on a whole bunch of pink, and then I go over it with the foundation, so that way it kind of looks more like a natural blush. Especially because Delia, you could see the pink, but I didn't want it like in your face. So using foundation to kind of tame it down really helps. And now for the fang bites. So if you've ever done fang bites in general, it's pretty much the same tactic, except you're doing horizontal instead of vertical, and also these are much closer together than if you were doing like a vampire bite. But either way, what I usually do for any kind of fang bites is I take the back of a paintbrush, that little rounded edge, to make the perfect circles. And then I go in with a tiny bit of black at the bottom of the punctures to kind of make it have a little more depth to them. Then I just go in with mascara, especially because with Delia, she had a lot of mascara on, and especially on her bottom line. So I just caked it on as much as possible. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I really like this look. Yeah.
And here's the final look for Dead Delia. Overall, it's a really easy, simple Halloween costume look. You can obviously add more by putting a red wig on, or maybe getting a couple of rubber snakes to add to your look. But overall, it's just perfectly simplistic in the fact that you could probably recreate this with whatever you have in your makeup kit at home. with that being said, I decided it'd be a little bit fun to add a little extra element to my dead Delia. So I'm gonna hand it off to voiceover again, and we will see what little extra whimsy I decided to add to this very simplistic makeup. See you there.
Okay, so let's get into the extra bit. So for this, I wanted to try and make it so the snakes would be attached to my neck. And the best way I knew how to do that was magnets. So I made these little pieces, which is just a magnet sandwiched between layers of liquid latex and tissue paper, and then just adhered them to my neck. I will be honest, I kind of wish that I had made them smaller. I think if I was going to do this again, I would definitely make the little pieces closer to the magnet size, like maybe just a little bit bigger, so that way when the snakes were on my neck, it kind of hid the different texture of skin. But you know, you live and you learn. So after laying down the liquid latex to smooth everything as much as I could out, I then cover everything, of course, in my foundation. Once again, I really gotta work on this because you can clearly see it. It doesn't help that I also don't have a full coverage foundation, so you can see the discoloration, but you know. Then, once again, just replacing those fang marks. Same process, using the back of a paintbrush to make the red dots, and then going in with a little bit of black at the bottom of both puncture holes to make them look a little more like deeper and more like an actual hole. And yeah, that's it for the extra part.
And here is Dead Delia Extra. This is super unnecessary. Overall, the first half where I showed you how to do her makeup with the fang bites is a perfect go-to last minute costume idea, which I really liked. And this is because after realizing that I was going to do 6 different ghosts, I had a feeling that I really wanted to end the week of Beetlejuice ghosts with Delia, because I really wanted to end it with one of the OGs of Beetlejuice. And I just thought it'd be really fun to do her makeup. And then I was like, hey, can I figure out a way to get snakes to stick to my neck? And that's where this came from. Is it completely unnecessary? Yes. And so stupid, but I love it so much. It's a lot of fun to just like snap the snakes on. I will say it's a little clunky, and if I ever did it again, I would definitely do better with the application for the magnets on my neck. But overall, I just had fun with it because it just seemed like a stupid idea and I wanted to see if I could do it. But yeah, in general, I had so much fun recreating some of these ghosts from Beetlejuice. It is one of my new favorite movies, and I just had a blast trying to take what limited knowledge and skill set that I have and trying to recreate such extravagant and in-depth characters. Makeup is supposed to be fun. Like, even when you fail, it's still fun to try and create with it. And that's what my Nerdtastic Halloween's all about, is to be ridiculous and try to have fun with makeup. But yeah, that is it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed this year's Nerdtastic Halloween. I had a blast, even with the highs and lows of these makeups. And I'm glad that you came along with me on this wild ride to the netherworld. But yeah, so if you did like it, please hit that like button. If you want to see more, please hit that subscribe. And leave me a comment down below if you feel ever so inclined. I'd love to hear from you. Well, that's it for me and Nerdtastic Halloween for this year. Until next time, as always, stay nerdy, my friends, and happy Halloween. Later!